how to close like a boss. In this video, I will share with you the exact strategies that these 4 people are using to close about any deal they want. So first of all, in the left corner, we have Elliot himself. Next to him, Alex Hormozi at the dentist. Next to him, Jerry Minor on the roller coaster. And then Top G himself with some larger proportions. In all seriousness though, I'm about to show you some real fucking value in this video. And my promise to you is that by the end of this video, you will know exactly how pros like the above and also someone like me close their sales with just a simple framework that they won't show you, but I will. And how you can implement it for yourself. So who am I to even talk about this? So my name is Malte and I've been running an agency helping coaches for the past 1.5 years. And since then, I've learned a lot from these salesmen and many more about how to close deals and have also implemented it myself. And I make videos like these as well on IG, but in a shorter format. So if you want to check that out, you can see it right here. My IG is @SchubertsMedia. Just follow me, shoot me a DM if you want to connect, and I'll get back to you. So quick disclaimer before we get into the good stuff. So there's not going to be any fancy edits, no brain rot, except maybe the pictures above. And if you need some dopamine, go back to YouTube Shorts, you know the drill. Because this video is purely to provide value and only for the people who are down to learn. So let's get straight into it. These are the 3 steps to close anyone. You can basically section it into these 3 steps. But what you need to know is that they won't work without each other. So you can't handle objections without doing these. You can't get a benefit from pre-framing if you don't do these. They all work together. So that's why I suggest to stick around until the end of the video, as corny as that sounds. But stick around so you can use these 3 together for your advantage. With that being said, the first one is the pre-frame. Then we have the important questions and then handling objections. So what is pre-framing? Pre-framing is when you give the prospect a clear idea of what to expect throughout the call. In this case, we want to focus on closing the prospect. So we need to make that clear from the start. And of course, I'm not going to go to the prospect and say something like, hey, my name's Malte, I'm a salesman and I actually have this product. I would like to get your money for it if you don't mind. That just sounds stupid. So instead, what I personally say at the beginning of the call is something like this. Look, you seem like you're comfortable taking actions and making decisions. You've already made the first step in booking this call, right? So in the end, if you could give me a no, please get away, or a yes, let's do it, that would definitely help me a ton. Sound fair? See what we did here? First of all, we associated them with a specific type of person. So we associated them with someone who's comfortable taking action and making decisions. That's important for the next question because there we ask them to either make a decision for no or yes, nothing in between. And I promise you, most often when you ask them this in a light and humorous tone, the answer will always be yes. And by the way, keep this in mind, we'll leave this for later. So now let's get into the questions. So questions are by far the most crucial part about sales and closing, if you didn't know that already. So by asking the right questions, we can basically steer the conversation wherever you want. Maybe you've heard the saying, the person who asked the questions is the person in control. And that's so true. Let me tell you why. When you ask the questions, the prospect is basically obligated to answer, or else they wouldn't be on a call with you. Okay? So by asking them questions, you can lead the conversation wherever you want to. You can talk about wherever you want to. Plus, the best benefit that you can get from this is that the people can sell themselves. I will show you how just in a second. So if you ask more than you make statements, you will basically be like smoke. And the prospect will sell themselves without you ever pushing anything onto them. They can say something like, oh, you force sold me that and that. No, They can't say that because you're the smoke. They can't grab you, they can't catch you, okay? Because you're the one asking the questions and they're the one selling themselves with their answers. You're not making statements like, you look like someone that would need this, buy this right now. Buy this product, my product is the best. I have the best quality, I have this, I have that. If you say that, the prospect can come, I've actually seen this other company, they actually have better results than you, and they actually have this better than you, they have more qualifications, they are more like trustworthy. So don't make statements, just ask questions. You can later on make some statements, but you want to keep the balance in a way where it's way more questions and just a little amount of statements. So when you ask the right questions, they'll, like I said, sell themselves on how much they like and need your service. And that's basically the only way to actually sell something. Anyone who's saying something different, they are just straight up lying. Except if it's low ticket products that you don't sell through a sales call, you don't want to leave out questions. They are super necessary to understand the situation, to steer the conversations, to take authority, to make the right statements by listening to them, okay? And I will show you how to close them using the answers of these questions. And the main thing you want to ask questions about is their pain point, aka their red button. So once you know what their red button is, you want to press it as often as possible and therefore enlarge the gap between where they are and where they want to be. For example, if I'd be selling weight loss, this is how a conversation would go. Hey, so what actually brought you on this call today? Yeah, I was actually just looking for some information on the program. Well, would you mind me just making a guess real quick? Yeah, sure, go ahead. You're probably not really here to just get some information. You have a problem that you want to solve or fix. Is that correct? Yeah, I actually struggle a bit with like obesity and am just looking around for something that can help me with that. Got it. Okay, so that's the problem for you. So how long have you been dealing with that obesity? So since high school ended, basically, I didn't do much more activities outside of school or work. So that's basically where it started for me. And since then, man, I'm like 100 pounds overweight. Got it. And what actually motivated you to make this call today? Like, why not 3 months ago or like a year from now? Well, yesterday this might sound a bit strange, but I actually fell from the stairs and needed my co-workers to pick me up. And it was like so embarrassing. I mean, I realized at the moment that really I need to change something about my weight. And that's where you basically have them. You don't need to sell anything on them. They basically sell themselves by answering your questions, okay? And this pain that they create for themselves, this is what creates desire for a solution, and that's where you come in. Like when the prospect says, well, I've been overweight for 5 years now, it's like, oof, -1 HP. And then again, well, I've tried this diet, but then the next day I was like so hungry, I just ordered a pizza and ate it all. -1 HP again. And they'll create so much pain for themselves by answering these questions that this creates more desire for a solution. And that's where you come in with your offer, which basically represents the solution. That's how you ask the right questions. So now let's get to the fancy part about selling, which is handling objections. So handling objections basically works like this. Before I get into it though, let's clarify something. An objection is any sort of excuse a prospect has after stating the price. Everything before that is merely an obstacle and it should be dealt with in that exact moment. You might be going through the questions with the prospect and then they say something like, I mean, I've never really had good experiences with these online programs. I think they just don't work for me. And then you ask them, well, why do you think they don't work for you? I mean, I feel like they're not really like personalized to me and they haven't really gotten results for anyone after all. And then you can say something like, so what if I told you that we can actually make your plans completely customized and that 100 other people similar to you already found success with it. Would that be something that could work for you? And then they're gonna say like, yeah, I mean, that would definitely up my chances of like making that transformation. And that's how you overcome that obstacle. So try to get rid of all of those and address them immediately, because that way it's gonna be way easier than if you were to handle them after the price, okay? So when you think about it, these objections, it's actually way simpler to handle them than you might expect. So using the info we got from step 1 and step 2, this is how we'll handle the objections. So when you ask for the close, so for this weight loss program that goes for 6 months, we charge 6K. Then you're quiet, puts a bit of pressure on the prospect, and then they're gonna answer with an objection. Okay, that sounds good. I mean, I need to think about it for a bit now. And actually, like, my wife's probably gonna kill me if she hears that I like bought a weight loss program for 6K. I mean, I probably need to talk about that with her before even making this decision. And then you're gonna go ahead and agree. You can say something like, yeah, man, completely understand that. I mean, I have a wife myself and I don't like making decisions, okay? But let me tell you something. This is where you remind them of their pain or shift their frame. So you can say something like, decisions, like, they aren't really made with time, they are made with information. And let me tell you, I can promise you that I am the only information that you're gonna get about this product. So once you hop off this call, what's gonna happen? You're not just gonna sit in your chair drinking your tea and thinking about the decision you're gonna make. You're gonna move on with your day, and in a month you'll come back and see that you're still the same weight that you are right now, maybe even a bit heavier, if I can be honest. And if the objection is more about the wife, you can say something like, look, is your wife with you right now? They say no, for example. Well, what would you think your wife could have against this investment? Well, I think it's like a lot of money for her, probably. Okay, so it's the money. So let's talk about that. And then you can go back for the second round again and say, I mean, I completely agree, man, this is super expensive, right? But you know, when I bought my mentorship for the first time, I also thought it was like so super expensive. Like, how could anyone spend that amount of money? But I actually decided to go with it. And what I realized is that I got way more committed since I put the stakes on the line. And also, let's just play this out, okay? I know this program is pricey, but how about this? Best case scenario, you pay for the program, you get the transformation that you've always wanted, you get to play with your kids again, you get to do some of your young activities again, and maybe you even get a promotion at your job and make all that money back. Or worst case scenario, you pay the money and don't get the results that you want. Well, then let me actually remind you of our guarantee that we have. If you don't get your results in the time frame, we will work for free until you do hit that. So basically how you can imagine it is, when you pay this money, your high school weight will be guaranteed. And I can promise that to you. This is basically how you can shift their frame. And then again, you ask for the close. So what do you think? Should we get going? If they again come with an objection, you again go through this. I would say go through this about 3 times if you see that they just don't want to take action. There's just some people that just want to get off the call, that just hate you for some reason, right? I would personally see if I did something wrong before that in the sales call, okay? But if you find someone that really doesn't want to do anything, I would say 3 times is enough. And then you can say something like, okay, I see we're not really getting anywhere. How about this? We just reschedule this call for next Monday, and then we can just get back in all calmness and talk about this again and see what the best decision for you would be. If they don't want to do that, ask them, well, do you know anyone of your friends maybe that would be interested in this kind of program? If not, you've lost the sale, it's a no, don't worry about it, move on to the next one. But if they actually come with real objections, I would say repeat this until they don't have any more. Sometimes you can hear the difference between ignorance and just wanting to find out more, okay? So I would say with real objections that are actually genuine, go through this more often. And then once you ask for the close and it's yes, then you've successfully handled the objection. So let me walk you through this again. When you ask for the close, it's a no. You agree. You remind them of their pain you shift their frame. Funny enough, this actually rhymes. So this is how you can remember it. And then you ask for the close again. Then again, no, agree, remind of pain, shift their frame, ask for close, no, agree, remind of pain, shift their frame, ask for close, no. And all that until you ask for the close and get a yes. By the way, I want to tell you that if your offer sucks, this won't work. You need a solid offer to actually pull this off. That's basically the first stepping stone. If you want to see how you can create an offer that nobody would say no to, watch my video that I have on offers and you will get a better idea on how to do that. With that being said, I hope you found this video helpful. If so, just leave a like and you can watch this video before your sales calls. Also, if you don't want to miss any new stuff that's similar to this, definitely hit the subscribe button. Like I said, my IG is @SchubertsMedia. So I pray that you got something from this video. See you in the next one. Peace!